what children can do, but when you saw what children could do with a skipping rope, given a skipping challenge, it kind of says, oh, that's what an 8-year-old can do physically, because we don't see children doing complex, coordinated activity like that anymore. So I thought that was really interesting, you know, and Patricia was saying it was the first time she'd seen children skipping in years. You know,
and it's boys and girls, because traditionally the girls will take out the skipping rope, not the boys, but we have awards in school, so we have a bronze, silver and gold award, and they have to complete a certain amount of skills to achieve these awards. And some of the best skippers we have in the school would be boys, and we have children that would skip in their preschool, and they're in 3 and 4 year olds that would take out a skipping rope and do some demonstrate amazing skills right up to 6th class. And that's a skill that there's no language needed really for teaching a skill like that. All you need is a skipping rope and a very small little space, and it's fantastic.
And I think the sense of mastery these children had, and you know, particularly the little ones, they were keen to show, you know, the way I show you what I can do, you know, and I think that was really great. Yeah, but they weren't competing with each other. They were proud enough and empowered enough by their own abilities to want to show it off. I thought that was really, really great. You know?
And I think, like, we have definite success criteria, and we're very black and white on it. You have to be able to say yes to all of these things, and we know they're possible with teamwork because we visited so many schools, but there's still flexibility within those. So I think particularly the Italian group and Emma and Laura as well, when you talk about the different schools, you'll see that the different schools have come up with their own individualized initiatives. So the skipping that they do is exceptional, and it's an international skipping award scheme, and it's been there forever, you know, and that's part of the process for them, but whereas other schools aren't. So everybody has a different flavour. You know, it's very individual, even though it looks like we're being very specific. But I think we're being very specific. It gives support and a structure to schools to work towards.
And in terms of Lithuanian schools, any thoughts on what you saw the main differences?
It's first our meeting with you, and it's just the first steps.
Yeah.
And after today, everything is clear, and we're very inspired about the program.
Great.
But now I think how to present everything in Lithuania and how it makes it positive, and how to convince schools to participate. To pilot.
Yes.
Pilot score the activities.
Yeah, but the sessions that you did, the introductory session that you offer, is key in that.
Oh yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we don't have like guidelines for like document that you send.
That will be provided by
Yes.
Yes, I have to you. So for us, like the process was not very clear, but after we see.
Yeah, you had to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
I think, don't you? See it in action to see how it actually works. You had a comment, Paul?
I was just thinking about the Italy situation, and we didn't talk about how big the school is, and you mentioned all the buildings and all of that, and I'm just wondering what would be the possibility of running it in one section of the school, because it is going to be hard to implement it across 3 different sectors, because you have preschool, primary, and junior secondary, and could you, that's the scope of that is huge, so could you consider taking one school and say our one building? You mentioned you had 10 buildings, so you take a building and you say we trial it here, we trial it here, and it's starting small. And the other comment is that the benefits from the active flag start day one. The benefit is not the flag, the process is the benefit. You get, when the children start day one, the benefits are there from day one. Their activity is improving from day one, and the process, it's one of those unusual things where the process is beneficial all the way along. And it's just a suggestion. I don't know.
David?
Is there any aspect of when you're beginning to implement it that is best to start with?
I think the run around your Europe is very easy to start with because it's cross-curricular, and it's over a set. If you say during the next 4 weeks, every class is going to try and reach a particular city in Europe, and we're going to put a chart outside every classroom door, and you tick how many laps you do each day. So if you have this chart outside the door, it's very visual that teachers need to do it each day. It's a gentle kind of, you have to do it. And if you tell the children, they'll remind the teacher. And if the principal has spoken about it in a staff meeting, I think that's a very solid one. And I think as adults and as teachers, we need to park some perceptions that we have. So we might all think, they won't like getting up and going running. They love the running. Even the inactive kids or the kids with special needs, they love it and they ask for it. And we might think, well, boys wouldn't want to do the dance. They love the dance. And we might think, and perhaps more so your colleagues than you, they won't settle back to their work after going for a run. It's the opposite. Or we don't have the time in the school day, but there's lots of wasted time in the school day where the children are off task and have no focus. So actually there is time. But the thing is to just park that and give it a go. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, I think it's about that open mind thing and the perception of how we think children are in their school day. It's like the perception of what I think a child can do. I mean, I was so impressed when I saw the skipping. Just that rises in my mind about what an 8-year-old's body can do in terms of coordination, timing, fitness, all of that.
As of David's comment, I mean, I agree with what Karen said there, but I think even what we saw in the school this morning in the classroom, the transition things that were shown to us, if you never went for an active school flag, they're brilliant things to do. And they're so easy to do, and the children love them. I mean, we were doing those little transitions, I don't know if they do them in your school or not, but little exercises with their hands and feet, with a ball, whatever, and they did them in between classes. And as a teacher, with my teacher cap on, they're great things to do with a class.
It's like the lollipop sticks, or the go noodle, or the stand up, sit down in your chair 20 times.
Because you could be saying to children, okay, boys and girls, are we all ready to listen? No, you're not ready to listen. Now, before everybody there to listen, you do 5 minutes of an activity, whether it's chair push-ups, whether it's dancing, whether it's they will all be ready to listen when you're finished. It really does focus them, brings them back, without having to constantly remind individual children. It's a whole class thing that gets them motivated together.
And they're simple and anybody can do it, but I think your starting point is better to give somebody exactly what they should do. So you should give them, play this Go Noodle song during September, or you should say, when you want to break a lesson, get the children to stand up and sit down 20 times. That's it, just try that. So rather than saying, do something between lessons, I think the starting point is much better to say specifically do this. And then when that confidence builds, then they'll go, do you know what, sure, couldn't they do tricep dips on the chair instead of standing up and sitting down? And it is very simple. There's nothing very complicated, but I think the support is needed at the start.
Absolutely. I think sometimes that prescription is a bit of hand holding. Sarah, you have a question?
Sorry, I was here yesterday, I went to meet people yesterday evening. I suppose the beauty of the active school flag is it builds capacity in the school. It doesn't depend on outside stuff coming in, which is really, really good. It can be slower to do because you're trying to bring people along with you and everything, but it is much more sustainable, isn't it? And also the beauty is that while we can all look at what's in our space and say, oh, we don't have a good enough pitch, we don't have a good enough sports hall, but you have something that you can work with, and that's one of the beauties of it.
Yeah, and I think Sarah works with the HSE, as does Teresa, and there are national agencies out there with support people who can come in and help schools. But really, what we try and do is that we try and link the schools working towards the flag with the support agencies. So I suppose from your perspective, you're engaging with a school that are proactive and are really going to make use of your expertise and your support. And it works both ways. We can see a school and we can direct them to them. So nobody has enough resources, and the resources are best directed to schools that are really proactive in the area and really focused. It's not just something that comes in and goes out and nobody passes any remarks of it, I think.
And just to add to that, a comment from the school we visited this morning was the Active School Flag Coordinator was so appreciative of other agencies who could provide those resources, like the water safety resource for the Irish Water Safety Association. There was an Irish Heart Foundation resource, and it prevents them from spending too much time developing the resource themselves. It's ready-made and they can run with it. The other thing we found was the links out to the community, where they involved some parents and brought parents in to maybe teach yoga, or if they were involved in the local GA or the local boxing club, that they brought them in from time to time to do activities with the kids, and they found that was really useful to rely on community resources.
Yeah. Okay. We'll obviously be having some follow-up to this meeting with you all on email and so on.